What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy September 1st to all of you. September is here. NHL, NBA playoffs, MLB in full steam. NFL about to happen. But we're 5 days away from the Kentucky Derby. And Saturday's Kentucky Derby and Razor Sharp's birthday. We're going to be going all out for Kentucky Derby Day. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. Great to see all of you guys. We got Detroit, what in the house? Carlos Jetton says, I didn't see the bag yesterday. We are Tuesday to Saturday, Carlos. This is the beginning of our week. There's Gio Mercedes in the house. Mitch Bruner. Ron Walsek in the house. I love Ron. Gonzalo. Ready? Yes. I don't know why I was so hesitant to make the bet, Gonzalo. Market's moving slightly to the over, and my first five doesn't come out. I'd probably prefer the first five. Love the way Kim's throwing. Gray shuts down these Cardinals. Goldschmidt like 0 for 18 or 0 for 18, something like that, against some very bad numbers. DeYoung can't hit him. But I was hesitant, but I did pull the trigger. That's the only trigger I pulled so far today. There's Will Turpin in the house, Mr. Wisdom. We got Zachary ready to go. Razor Sharp Picks. There he is. And our collector has been scratched. Damn. Thank you for the heads up there. I did not know that. Big Drew cashing in on the Lightning last night. I had a nice casher on the Avalanche, which I needed because Saturday was a very bad day in MLB for me here. Adonis Iverson, who's the better team, Nuggets or Jazz, y'all? Has everything changed since Gary Harris has been defending the perimeter? But what a series. Mitchell versus Murray. Jokic versus Gobert. And we have Trot Wam joining the show today to talk and break down NBA. As always, MLB, NBA, NHL is how we are going to be running. There's John Connolly in the house. Serious business, ready to get to work. And John Connolly says, right now, the Nuggets. They're serious business. Adonis Iverson taking the Nuggets game 7 then. Detroit Watts says, I'll take some Nuggets and large fries for Detroit. What? Ryan Gosling joining us from Montreal. Great to see you, Ryan. There is Sabino in the house. Mr. Wisdom ready to go. Von Polo, I'm not sure. Von Polo, those videos that I put out required a team that would do all the graphics, and I would have to sleep at the office because I was still doing my show in the morning, and then I would work all night. I would sleep in this little tiny couch at about 3, 4 in the morning. I'd sleep till like 6:30 in the morning. It was extremely difficult. But I can tell you what, we will go over each and every one of the horses. Sorry, Von Polo. John Connolly, 8-2 yesterday. There's Schaff in the house. Von Polo says the Rockets game was good last night. It was a lot of fun to watch. Jacob Fogarty ready to go. Dennis Garcia saying yes, no art collector. This is a weird year, man, and the money might not be there for us to be made on the Kentucky Derby itself. But on Kentucky Derby Day, there's going to be a lot of opportunities to get paid. Ain't capping ready to go. There is Southpaw ready to eat. Andrew Joseph Alova. Ken Mizrahi. Claudio S. in the house. And Von Polo said, don't leave enforceable off your tickets. He will hit the board at a price. I love capping the ponies with our Von Polo. What a great guy. Mr. Gokster. Detroit What says Avs are back. They still have a problem in net, man. It's hard to be confident. I mean, you have to completely dominate to win when your goaltending's weak. So that's sort of for both sides. But I imagine Bishop's going to be better for the Stars moving forward. Dennis Garcia says Miami was a great result yesterday, and the under was a present. Chris N, Viper NB, St. Louis Elite, 3 units on the Nugs. Ooh, shit. Dean Eden, ready to go. Claudio S., our NFL expert, Rob Bebenek. is going to put money in our pockets this year. I tell you that he's going to put money in our pockets this year. And he's ours, just ours. So we're excited. We're excited about our NFL coverage. Mr. Gokes are laughing at Hutchinson. Ken Mr. Isaac says, can't wait for NFL. Viper NB on the over 218. I can't wait to talk about that. Ace Purple ready to go. Alex Ramirez started Spidey play of the day. Leroy Flood ready to go. Well, it's time to get to work. There's Guillermo Zertucci says, I'm Derby ready. There's Connor Mack Picks. Had a great Friday capping that card with C-Mac. I couldn't recreate that on Saturday. And Nicholas Rodriguez ready to go. All right, we got a lot of work to do. Let's get after it right now. We are going to start with MLB. MLB. And man, August 29th is real bad. Real bad. 1 win, 6 losses. 5.56 units down. I'm now 72 and 71 on the season, 50.3%, down 9.51 units. Ugly. Ugly. And Dennis Garcia says, Jungle Juice Gamine drew well in the Oaks. What a dangerous Philly she is. Let's see what Talking Sports with JT has. White Sox, Padres, St. Louis, first 5. Oh, won some money from me yesterday. Nice job. Nice job. All right, let's to work. There's Richie Rich in the house. NHL going according to form right now, unless you're betting against the Islanders or on the Flyers, which I've learned not to do. I mean, can you believe the Islanders were a point out of the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference when the shutdown happened? I mean, the Islanders might not have made the playoffs. Nuts. Slots 45 says, can't believe Avs are stuck with Hutchinson in net. Yeah. Look, I made some money last night, and I don't know if I go back to the well tomorrow. Detroit Wet says, Isles are winning it all. We got DJ Big Boss in the house. K. Paul VIP says, let's get some dough. And Mr. Gokster, Philly team total over 4.5. Article play of the day from our Mr. Gokster. And Steve Priest, by the way, on the Isles Philly under 5. We're going to get to all of these games. We're going to start with MLB. Oh, beautiful Von Polo. That is so sweet. Oh, Von Polo, man. Man. Von Polo makes capping and gambling so much fun. Got a room in Delaware for the whole weekend. And a boy. Von Polo, can you give us some live stuff, man? Film some live stuff for us. Von Polo, let's talk. I'd love to get you to come on live from the casino down there. Von Polo, making things fun, man. All right, let's get to work. Let's get to work here. And Razor Sharp says, Polo, where we might have to link up. I love it. I love that. I love when low baggers are hanging out, man. Makes me so happy. Jeff Joseph. I find them tough races to make money on. So I'm kind of stuck. I'm kind of stuck at this point. Kind of stuck. I'm looking forward to hear your breakdown analysis. Sucks that Art Collector is not in. Triple Dream going with Raptors money. Okay, let's get through MLB because we have Trot Wam joining us shortly. There's Corey Simmons. Focus on your bets. Hako Schofield says fade Matt Harvey Day. I haven't done that either. I did the first 2 starts and we got paid. He hasn't allowed a hit in the first 2 innings. He's been touched in that 3rd inning the next time he sees them. Second time through the order. There's Birdie in the house. There is TJ ready to go. TJ. Michael Irvin also likes the under. That makes me feel good. There's Tyrone Coleman in the house. Ace Purple taking that first 5 under 4.5. Dennis Garcia is locked in Honor AP. I mean, at this point, you have to think that Honor AP is the most likely contender to Tiz the Law. All right, let's go. Cardinals, Reds. I've already locked in the full game under 8.5 minus 105. Could get it down to minus 102, depending on what shop. There's BC ready to get to work. Jack Reinhart in the house. Alex Rodriguez, 923. Says Tiz the Law wins. Going to look for exacta try. I get that. Larry Garr hit a $20 six-pick parlay yesterday for 763. He's ready to eat. I love it. Larry Garr, nice work. Nice work. All right, let's get to work. 86 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 6 miles per hour, sideways across the diamond. There aren't odds at most of these games right now. They're starting to come out. Okay, good. Okay, we're starting to get them. We got the Jays, Marlins have come out. This Mets, Orioles has come out. Rockies, Giants has come out. Okay, good. Okay, good. All right, Kim Gray. Gray opens up at minus 145, a 20-cent move at Bet365. This total was minus 110 apiece, a 5-cent move towards the over. There's Shears, man, in the house. NJ Marco, Platt, goal last night. Nice job. Platt's been rolling. Way to stick with the hot hand. Jared Schrader. New spreadsheet and approach sports betting yesterday was my first day with it. Good start. Let's keep going. I love that. Heat to win series, Tizela to win Derby, and Hilaire to win rushing title. Ooh, birdie, I like it. And there's Brett Kinney ready to go. And Focus on Your Bets is back in the Celtics again. I can't wait to talk about that game. Very, very difficult. Prince of the City. You know how we do, Prince of the City. MK says Cincinnati blows. They have disappointed us this year. Kim, though, looks very strong. He had that very first appearance when he was their closer. He got touched up for 3 runs. That hasn't happened since. Razor Sharp Picks says 2 stud pitchers going Reds Cards game, but total opened up at 8, moved to 8.5. I mean, it moved to 8.5 in seconds. Yes, Jeff Joseph. All day horse show on Saturday. Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Jin Rummy in the house. All right. And Michael Irvelina, very interesting point there. How do you not take the 2 over 218? All right. Noli Knows says KK looks nice, but he can sure says wants to be a starter, not a reliever. Yes, and he's looked great as a starter. He's been very tough to touch. He allowed 1 earned run, 9 hits over his last 15 2/3. That's over 3 starts. 6 shutout innings, allowed just 3 hits against these Reds August 22nd. Very tough. Votto has heated up now for the Reds. He was 0 for 18. They sat him out for a full doubleheader. He's now 6 for his last 13. Let's talk about Sonny Gray. 5-1, 1.92 ERA, 1.01 WHIP. Strikeouts among the leaders, 55. Opponents batting average 180. He went just 5 innings at Milwaukee on Thursday, but they were in control of that game, and he didn't have to go deep. He's gone a major league record 40 straight games, allowing 6 or fewer hits. Gave up 2 runs, 4 hits, but also walked 4 in 6 innings last time he met these guys. Goldschmidt 0 for 12 with 5 Ks against Gray. DeYoung and Colton Wong combined 2 for 16 versus Gray. And I went on the under. Steve Priest says Cards Reds first 5 under. I was waiting for it to come out. And it's still not out. There's no first 5s out at Bet365 at this point. There's Boston Nick in the house, the Lock Nick monster. Great to see you, Nick, my man. Jared JB says, I can't wait until Saturday. Derby Day is always a great day. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Elliot V on the Cards money line. Michael Irvelina riding says he took it last night. And I'm going to jump on this first 5 under. I'm not going to be afraid. Why let this market move scare me? Mr. Gogser said I played no score first innings, St. Louis, Cincinnati. And FanDuel has Reds Cards first 5 under 4.5 at minus 110. Thank you, Schaff. And Helgard Werner wanting to talk about the Brew Crew. Okay, let's move on to – we're going to get there. Let's not talk too long about Jays Marlins, as we don't know who's pitching for Toronto. But the line has come out at a couple books. It's basically a pick 'em. This total is 8.5. We know that we have Eliezer Hernandez going for the Marlins, and he's been very good. 1-0, 3.04 ERA, 0.97 WHIP, 32 Ks and 23 2/3. We've talked about him on the show. He adds a slider and becomes a very dominant pitcher. And Jeff Joseph, I agree. I'm not going to try to beat Tiz the Law. I will try to beat this law at the Preakness. But not here. Not here. Yes, we expect the Milwaukee roof to be closed. And Detroit What says Tigers suck, bet against them after sweeping the Twinkies. All right. Mitch Bruner says a lot of travel for these Marlins. The Jays picked up VR off the Marlins at the deadline. They've won 4 or 5. Marlins lost 4 in a row before they won on Monday. They pick up Starling Marte. I like that move. Hernandez faced the Jays once in his career. 5 Ks, 1 walk, and 5 1/3. That was this season. And he's very good at home. And look at that. Schaff, great find. Great find, Schaff. Noli knows saying Jay's taking every team's leftovers. That's what these lower budget teams do. Dance Garcia, I mean, I'm going to look. I have interest in Honor AP. But I think this race could take a lot out of him. Tis. And I'm going to try to fade him at the Preakness. And thank you for wishing me good luck, even though it doesn't sound genuine, Dennis. Okay. So we're going to wait for a line here. At least a line in my book. We got to find out who's pitching for the Jays. All right, let's move on to Rays, Yankees, another situation where we don't know who is pitching for the Trevor Richards. Okay, Trevor Richards. Total's gone from 8.5 to 9. Good. These Rays are rolling. Can they roll even with Trevor Richards on the mound? I don't know. Rays are 25-11, 6-game winning streak, 13-2 over the last 15, 19-3 over the last 22. 4.5-game lead over the Yankees, 7-1 in the season series. They've won 6 straight against this team. Wow. Now, unlikely to be Yandy Diaz or Austin Meadows. And we have Trevor Richards, whom I don't believe in. The Yankees have no Judge, no Stanton, no Torres. They can't hit against Tampa. Against Tampa this year, 1 for 25 with runners in scoring position. Nice, Dean Eden. Beautiful. Beautiful, Dean Eden. Firing anytime you got KHL looks. Oh, Mitch Bruner says Merriweather for the Jays. So it's bullpen day. Tanaka is yet to go over 5 innings. Threw 5 scoreless in his last start, just 66 pitches. Second game of Wednesday's doubleheader against the Braves. 10-5, 3.33 ERA and 20 career starts against Tampa. Claudio S says so many injuries for the Yankees. Mr. Wisdom says immediately passing Yanks game until they're healthy. And Zachary Matachero says Richards pitched very well last out. Black Rogue. Finally, Black Rogue back in action. Nice. Nice to see Black Rogue. Will Turpin, Ant is not on today. This is a Tuesday, regularly Ant's day. He's got because he had surgery on his ankle, so has a doctor's appointment right now. But we will get Ant back on. We'll find a day for Ant. We have Noli Knows on tomorrow. On Wednesday, Noli Knows. Babano on Thursday. Connor Mack on Friday. All right. Black Rogue back in business. So even without Diaz and Meadows, I'd be hesitant to make a move. But you have to think that Tanaka's capable of shutting down this Rays team, especially without Austin and Yandy. And then if Richards can shut down a Yankee squad that's light, maybe the under is in play. Chef says Ant likes Nats money line plus 133. The weather's nice for an under. Nice, Wallow. We'll get it. I think that the under is in play here. A weak Yankees lineup. I think the Rays, Yankees should go under. And I should not be scared of this total going from 8.5 to 9. 8.5 to 9 just seems like a spot where Tanaka has to step up. Jin Rummy likes first half Nats plus 149. Nice job. And we got Spidey's play of the days, and Spidey not scared to back Flyers again. Flyers regulation, Vegas in regulation. Vegas to score first from Alex Ramirez. Spidey play of the day. Elliot V says, I think Rays have seen Tanaka way too many times. He's got a 3.33 ERA and 20 career starts against Tampa. They got one hit off him in 5 innings August 7th. But then they beat him up. You're right. They did beat him up last start. There's Juan Ruiz in the house. Great to see Juan. And TJ giving us the numbers. All right. I don't need to push it. Don't need to force it. Let's just take a quick look at what this lineup is supposed to look like without Austin and Diaz in it. Let's take a quick look. This is a hugely important game for the Yankees. Tanaka knows that. So you're going to take out the first and third hitter in that lineup, and they're still going to hurt you? I don't think so. Tommy Bolt says Rays are 6-0 in their last 6 as dogs. You take out big pieces to this puzzle. And Meadows is an important left-handed bat against Tanaka. Black Rogue says, got to go Rays here. Jin Rummy says Yankees open at minus 126. BC, we're going to break that down. We have Trot Wam coming to us live from Long Beach. Hmm. 10 runs. They're going to score 10 runs in this game. Ron Walsek says Yankees bullpen, Rays bullpen reeling. Yanks team total over in play. I think, TJ, that he's being set up to start going longer than 5. This would be the spot. The Rays bullpen's just beat up. They're just injured. They've lost so many pieces. And Zachary says Rays used the A bullpen last night. Okay. I will stay off. Thank you. Great work from the chat here. Razor says Rays are 13-3 in their last 16 road games. And Noli says Richards is no Glasnow. Okay, let's move on to Nats, Phillies. We've had a lot of talk about this game already. Corbin, Nola. Phillies opened up at minus 145. They're now minus 160. This total opened up at 8.5 as a pick'em. It's now slightly juiced 5 cents to the over. We've already heard that Mr. Gokster's article piece on odds.com is the Phillies team total over. We've heard that Jin Rummy and Ant L are making moves on the Nats. Sorry, Michael Lee. How do you get to the picks? You talk. Man. Wish you were talking right in front of me so I could open a hand, slap you in the face. 77 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 8 miles per hour, sideways in. We cap together, Michael Lee. If you want to watch a monologue, go somewhere else. Corbin, 2-2, 3.82 ERA, 1.30 whip, 35 1/3, 34 Ks, 8 walks, 5 homers. Aaron Nola, 3-2, 3 ERA, 0.92 whip, 36 innings, 48 Ks, 9 walks, 6 homers. Nats are hitting 255, 750 OPS versus righties. Phillies, 256, 855 OPS versus lefties. They have all this power against lefties. Steve Priest says lean Phillies, but not at minus 150. Nats bullpen 4.40 ERA, 1.45 whip, being stronger of late. Phillies bullpen 7.09 ERA, 1.87 whip. It's regressing slightly in a positive direction, but we will see. Phillies have won 6 of 7. They are winning baseball. They are playing winning baseball right now. 8-6 win over the Nats on Monday to open this series. We were waiting for Rhys Hoskins all season long. He has arrived. He is rolling. There's Brian Watson in the house. Great to see you, Brian. Hoskins homered, doubled, knocked in threes, homered in 3 straight games. He's homered in 5 of his past 7, and that's changed their offense. Nola's last start against the Nationals, he threw 113 pitches, 5 hits, 2 runs in 7 innings, 5-6 with a 4.12 ERA in his career against the Nats. Razor Sharp says, love watching the Nationals lose for my under win total. Yes, I got Nats and Mets under win total. It's all working out. Johnny K says Avs to win series. Man, Johnny, I hope you are right. Connor Mack says Nats suck. Got beat down by Red Sox 2 days in a row. It hurt me very bad. And Robert Allen has got a low bag fantasy football league. They're just looking for a couple final spots. They're almost filled up. If anybody wants to be in the Robert Allen low bag fantasy football league, hit them. Hit them here or on Twitter. Corbin, 6 solid in his last start against the Phillies, 7 hits and 2 runs. He's always been good against the Phillies. 5-2 with a 3.16 ERA in 10 starts. Seems to make one mistake and get hurt for it. Aaron maybe says Nationals for me. I'm going to stay off. I don't trust lefties against this Phillies lineup, and I don't want the Phillies as this big of a favorite, so I can understand the issue. There's diehard MMA podcast Clint in the house. Carlos Jetton wants in. Oh, there's Matt Randall. There's Matt Randall in the house. Matt Randall. What a great guy. Star of the taint, play of the day. Picasso the Prophet says took it off MLB yesterday, going hard today. And again, Robert Allen has a low bag fantasy football league. And if you are interested. Black Robe says Corbin at plus 135. I'll take it gladly. I get it. TJ says Corbin pitching the contact more this year. K's down and may hurt him today. And Detroit what? Giving a shout out to our man Clint in the house. Nate Schellhammer in the house. Great to see you, Nate. I'm off Nationals Phillies. So far, just a double up on Cards, Reds, unders. Came close to the under in Rays, Yankees. And I'm staying off Nats, Phillies. There's Jen E. Tools in the house. Brian Warner says, what I got to do for a slap in the face? Your hands are probably so soft. That's true, Brian. Very little, almost no physical labor in my life. Very little. Baby soft. But I will use that part of my hand when I slap the face. All right, let's go Cubs, Pirates, Lester, cool. How can you trust Lester? Especially against even a bad team like the Pirates that hit righties well. Juan Ruiz wants in. And look at Noli Knows. Noli Knows saying, Nats hit better on the road. 300 away and 233 at home. Very interesting. How can you bet on Lester? Steve Priest says Pirates are 1-6 versus left-handed pitching. We've talked about that. There's Astute Chaos ready to get to work. We've talked about that, Steve Priest. Yes, they're 1-6, but they hit lefties. 266, 764 OPS. They hit them. And today might be an exciting day for them because Brian Hayes, Charlie Hayes' son, already is being in Pittsburgh and is expected to make his major league debut. He's only the second player and first since 1961 to win a Rawlings minor league baseball Gold Glove 3 years in a row at third base. I'm with we in the Fieldhouse. Sorry, I'm still struggling with sleep, man. We in the Fieldhouse. I'm with you. I mean, I see we take the Pirates first 5. There's Sunny Springs ready to go. I want to take cool here. And Elliot V saying White Sox a gift today. We in the Fieldhouse. My fault, parents. Of course, it's not a German name. All right. Cubs 20-14, but have been coming back to earth. They make 3 deals at the trade deadline. They bring in Chafin, they bring in Osich, and they bring in Cameron Maben, 2 relievers, and someone who can hit lefties. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Robert Allen says we're going to be playing for a prize, by the way. Yeah, we don't play for fun. Our time is important. There has to be money on the line, or you won't get our time. Simple. Robert Allen, can you pop your Twitter in the chat for all the guys who want to jump in on the Fantasy Football League? There it is. Robert in Dallas, Texas. Robert in Dallas, Texas is the Twitter handle. So hit him on Twitter. I love you too, Robert. Play for fun. What's that? Exactly. If you want our time, there has to be money on the line. Okay. Ace Purple wants in. So just hit, you guys, anybody who wants in, there's not too many spots left. So hit up my man, Robert Allen. Robert in Dallas, Texas on Twitter. Okay. Chad Cool, 2.52 ERA, 1.08 whip. Still, the K to walk ratio is not really where you'd like it at 20-11. Has allowed 5 home runs. So when he gets hit hard. Okay, Bertie, we remember that you were married with a mortgage and kids. We will remember. Brandon Lugo says Cubs team total under 5.5. That's a big number to me for them today. Yes, 80 Fahrenheit, cloudy, 4 miles per hour in. Lester. So Lester, even in his last start, which was pretty good for him, 1 earned run, 8 hits in a walk, 5 Ks. So 1 earned run in 5 innings, but 1 base runner in each of his 5 innings, multiple base runners in 3 innings. I love it. I love it, Clint. Sunny Spring says Lester going to get his ass handed to him. Dude, chaos. 6-0 last 2 days in NBA. Beautiful. I'm still rolling on sides and totals and screwing it up on props, but 13-2 my last 15 NBA sides and totals. That's a wild run. All right. Steve Priest says Cubs always screw me. Lean Pirates plus 1.5. The only thing is, do we wait? Do we wait to get a better number? Let's just do a quick check here and see if we wait to get a better number. We're going to go first 5. Let's see what kind of market moves we are getting here. All right, let's move here. Perfect. So, money line, first 5. No, not helping us there. Let's just see what that 365 is doing for us. First 5. Plus 120 on Cool. God, you'd want a little more of that. Bumpo says, what do I think Tiz's odds will be when the gates open? I think they'll be I think they'll be 3-5. Robert Allen says 5-2. I'd say 3-5. Rich G going Pirates, Cubs under. Michael Iverlina says 2-5. I came so close to saying 2-5. I came very, very, very close to saying that, Michael Iverlina. You might be right. Okay. I want the Pirates first 5. I do. Let's just take a peek and see if it's up yet. See what the plus 0.5 would be on the first 5. Minus 125. I don't want that. Yeah. Dennis, I was surprised when you said a silly 1-1. But he says a sillier 3-5, I guess. Yeah, I think it'll be 3-5. I tell you what, don't bet on Tiz the Law, but use them. Don't bet on Tiz the Law to win. That's all. You can use them. Definitely use them. You can single them on multi-race wagers, but then it'd have to be a pick 5 or something of that sort. Rich G says, I like the Pirates today. Better spots on the board, though. Pass on the side. Aaron maybe says, be careful. Lester seems to show up every now and then. We talked about this. I know we got off to the great start, but he was so bad last year. It was his worst year since his rookie year. Griffin says, Cubs coming off a day of rest. Bats look good at the end of the series against Reds. Over might be a play. Cool has not been great against the Cubs, and Lester has been hard to trust lately. Yeah, I think that's a very well put, Griffin. I think that's well put. Let's take a look at this full game total. It's gone from 9 to 9.5. I'm going to let it go. It's one of those plays that you had to make a move at the 9. I'm not going to take it to 9.5. Ty Clinton says over is the play. And Noli knows 5 starts, 3-0, 3.16 ERA last year against the Pirates. All right. Is plus 120 enough? That's the question. Lester got very lucky in that last start. And we have the taint play of the day in from our Matt Randall, the taint play of the day in Yankees -1. Also on Cubs run line, Twins money line, and Tigers money line. Let's keep that up there for a sec. All right. Okay, let's roll. Pirates first 5. Okay, let's move on to Braves, Red Sox, Ian Anderson, Ryan Weber. We were waiting for a market on this for a while. It has arrived. Braves opened up at -175. They're still there. This total opened up at 10. There are some 9.5s on the board. I think Slats 45 is bang on here. I love it. I like the double up. I like the double. And John Conley saying not enough, Jimmy, on the plus 120 on the Pirates. But we'll review everything one more time. One more time. D-Money says Braves 7-2 is a road fave. You know, obviously, Ian Anderson, 3rd overall pick, gets that first shot against Cole, and it's spectacular. And I don't really think this is a let-up because it's in Fenway. And I know there's no fans in the stands, but this just doesn't feel like a let-up spot. You also have this enormous bullpen advantage. Braves bullpen, 3.22 ERA, 1.21 WHIP going up against Red Sox bullpen, 5.28 ERA, 1.51 WHIP. And you know they're going to go there because Ryan Weber, 11 Ks, 11 walks, 6 home runs allowed in 24 innings. Nice job, Cashman. Connor Mack says, but -7. No, you'd have to take it -1. And let's just see what they're going to give you for the -1 before we get bullish on wanting to take it. -170 and -115. Let's just pop that very quickly into the Ron Crawford run line calculator. Gives you a -145. Huh. Nice, Eric Jones. Fighting a good fight. Rich G says, putting a lot of stock in the guy who's made one MLB start. Yeah. I mean, but this isn't just some journeyman. The 3rd overall pick. And we had a low bagger catching for him all growing up. Dean Williams. And look at this, Matt Randall's look on why he's backing Fulmer. Very, very, very interesting. Looking forward to breaking that down. All right, and C-Max said lots of value here on Fulmer. The question is, Fulmer is only going to go 3 innings. How does Daniel Norris pitch going right after him? We haven't got to the game yet. Hako Schofield says Braves win again. I think so. I'm going to double up here. I'm going to take the Braves. Well, let me see what the Braves' first 5 minus a half is. Now, doubling up on a Red Sox fade hurt me badly on Saturday. Yeah, minus 125. I'm fine with that. All right, Braves first 5 minus a half. Full game minus 1. And look at Oaktown 77 turning $5 into 887. That's gorgeous. Gorgeous. C-Max says might go first 5, Tigers maybe. That's the question you have to ask yourself in that Tiger spot is what do you expect Daniel Norris to do? There's Cole Coleone in the house. The Vegas King. Raptors money line. I can't wait to talk about that with Trot Wam. We got to keep moving. And Rich G, Red Sox team total over 4.5 plus 110 is my play. I don't dislike that at all, Rich. I don't dislike that at all. And I'm not going to sit here and back Ian Anderson in every start moving forward. But second start, John Connolly going to take the Braves minus 1.5. All right. Double up on the Braves. Let's move on to Mets-Orioles. Do we know who is starting for the Metropolitans? No. Going up against Wojciechowski. Let's not spend too much time on it. T. Henderson says fade Norris. 78 Fahrenheit. Partly cloudy, 6 miles per hour, sideways across the diamond at Camden. Mets 5 games under 500. But they hit righties hard. 277, 801 OPS. And Razor Sharp says 5 minutes until they draw the post for the Derby. Razor, keep us in the loop. Big Saturday, Razor Sharp's birthday, Kentucky Derby. And Mitch Bruner says Kilmore in for the Mets. Kilmore in for the Mets. Mets have dropped 4 in a row right now. They pick up Castro from the Orioles. Orioles snapped a 5-game losing streak, 4-3 win over the Jays yesterday. And Robert Allen says Mets love right-handed pitching. They do. They smash it. But it's not on the board. So Mets team total over will be something that I will be looking at. But we don't know what it is at this point. If anybody has one available, let me know. Mets team total over, getting to the Woj. Asher Wojciechowski. We should call him the Woj. We have our own Woj in the chat. Asher Wojciechowski. All right, let's move on to Tigers Brewers. We've already talked about this. Fulmer, Hauser. I faded Hauser in his last start, and he got touched. You know, I expect that to continue. Oh, it's not Hauser. It's Lindblom, of course. Why did I have Hauser up there? Of course it's Lindblom. Lindblom, last 2 outings, 2 runs, 3 hits, 4 innings against the Reds on Thursday. He's lost his last 2 outings, I should say, sorry. Lindblom is much better spot than Hauser. Brewers opening up at minus 180. I mean, I certainly don't want the Brewers. No Mets line, any of my 5 books. Thank you, Shaft, my man. Rich C says Tigers team total over 3.5 is my play too low. Yeah, that's a great look. Let me see if I can get that 3.5. Tigers feel good about themselves right now. It's minus 145 though. I can't jump on that juice. Roof closed in Milwaukee. Tigers won 5 straight, 7 of 9. Tough. Tyrone Coleman says Mets team totals at 5.5. Yeah, I'm not going to take a 5.5. It's random, Ron. It's random. Triple beam dream going White Sox, Braves, Dodgers parlay. TJ says Fulmer will make any offense look good. Take the over. And Rich G says minus 145 too. I got minus 130. That's my max. Nice spot. All right. It's a Tigers or no bet. And I don't want to sit here with Fulmer and Daniel Norris in my pocket. Jeff, it needs more study. I need to study it more. But I'm very excited about the race. My first instinct is by my standards. And I don't think Owendale can beat this level of competition. All right. And Matt Randall says 0 earned runs in last 2 outings in relief, Daniel Norris. And it's good going after Fulmer because they're very different pitchers. All right. Let's move on to Indians Royals. Plesac versus Harvey. I'm being bullish about, and Von Polo is on by my standards. I like it. Harvey, I've watched quite closely because we faded him the last 2 games, and they've been great for us. But he doesn't. He's throwing 94. He looks pretty good, and that's why the Royals keep sending him out here. And now Zach Plesac has all this to prove. And T. Anderson says Indians are locked today. They're not losing today. Indians don't hit righties hard to begin with, 223, 696 OPS. And there's a reason why they're going to send Harvey out there again. Dennis Garcia, there's no way Tiz goes off at 3-5. It'll be less than even money. Steve Priest says Indians come back with a big win after a 2-1 loss yesterday. So Harvey hasn't allowed a hit in the first 2 innings of his 2 starts, but he's allowed 7 runs in the combined 1 2/3 innings that follow. Very tough. Plesac 3-0 with a 2.11 ERA and 4 career starts against the Royals. He's not faced the Royals in 2020. Ben Sports 24/7 says Indians are not a lock whatsoever. They should have won yesterday with Bieber and didn't. Steve Priest says Harvey 2 home runs already. Look, I've been watching him closely. He actually looks pretty good. And then he gets touched in the 3rd inning. And the Indians don't hit righties. And there's a reason why the Royals brass are giving him another shot. So I'm not going to take the Indians as a big favorite here. Big Drew says safe with the under. Jeff Joseph says Tiz makes more sense in the Oaks Derby pool. That's a lot of truth there. That's a good point, Jeff. All right, I'm going to stay off this big favorite. We have we have 4 games left. 4 games left. And then we are going to break into NBA. 4 games left, and then we're going to talk NBA. We have Trot Wam joining us. So let's roll through this. Claudio says 5.5 team total Indians. What do you think? I don't like 5.5s ever. I don't like 5.5s ever, Claudio. And like I said, look, I'm not fading Harvey. I faded him in the first 2 starts. I've watched him closely. If he was throwing 91, but he's throwing 94, he gets up to 95 sometimes. All right, let's roll. Let's move on to Rangers, Astros. It is a bullpen day for the Rangers. Well, not really. They're starting with Luis Garcia. Then they're moving on to Lyles, Jordan Lyles, who we've been fading all year. Didn't look as bad in his last start as he had looked previously. Let's see what we're dealing with. Rangers, Astros. Astros are huge favorites. Huge. Arthur Meade. Yeah, I'm hesitant to make a move. We were waiting for a line to come out. There's no line at my book in that Blue Jays game. We know it's a bullpen day for the Blue Jays. Elizer's been very good. What line do you have, Arthur? I'd be very curious. Christian Larson says, I got Luis Garcia. Yes, Luis Garcia is the opener. He has only gone more than 1 inning once this year in 6 appearances. Rich G says, no value, in my opinion. I agree with our man, Rich G. Yeah, Arthur, it's tricky unless you can get some more information on exactly how the Jays are going to handle their bullpen situation. But Elizer's being really good. Steve Priest leans to Astros blowout. Rude Jude says leaning towards the over. Okay, Prince of the City, we're almost done, and we got Trot Wam jumping on with us. Trot Wam will be here soon. You just can't take any team at this price. You just can't take any team at this price. Minus 280. The run line's minus 140. And I don't know how important it's going to be, but Lyles was a first-round pick from the – I don't think it matters. But he was a first-round pick from the Astros. He's pitched 3 seasons there. I would love that, Von Polo. I would absolutely love that. Love it. Do a quick test at the casino just to see how fast their internet is, and let's do it, man. I'd be all over that. All right. Okay. Claudio S. says Houston team total of 5.5. You have to think that is a possibility. 5.5 at just minus 105. Hucko Schofield says over. All right, that sounds appealing, Claudio. And Luis Garcia has a whip of 2, a 5.40 ERA, very small sample size. Yeah, that I do find that interesting. TJ said if you think Houston gets to the 5, the run line is the play. That run line's at minus 145. I think that's a nice look. The Rangers bullpen 4.99 ERA, 1.44 whip. All right, let's move on to White Sox, Twinkies, Keuchel, Pineda. Pineda making his season debut, had that 60-game suspension for the masking agent, basically. 72 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 10 miles per hour, sideways across the diamond. Steve Priest says Pineda back from juicing suspension, liking Keuchel in the White Sox money line. Rich G says Twins sliding badly. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with here. White Sox, Twinkies. White Sox opened up at minus 130 to now minus 115. I don't want to test Pineda. He's been pitching nonstop. This is a spot where it wouldn't shock me if he steps up in a big way. Remember, White Sox do their damage against lefties. It's not like they're bad against righties, but 258, 768 OPS. The Twins are not hitting, especially against lefties. 239, 654 OPS. Matt Randall says Twins. Pineda was excellent last year. 11-5. I guess 4.01 ERA, maybe just good. 140 strikeouts, just 28 walks. 5-3, 3.24 ERA in 8 career starts against the White Sox last year. 4-0 with a 2.88 ERA. Griffin saying Luis Robert is hot. He's very hot. He's just rolling. 10th homer in the season, most by any rookie in the league. Mr. Wisdom says first 5 under 5 lock it. Let's see what that is. I think that's a very interesting look. First 5 under 5. See what we're dealing with here. Just move over to first 5 under 5 is very interesting. And Noli knows is on the first 5 under and full game under. Twins bullpen, White Sox bullpen, both good. My only concern is Pineda, just because we haven't seen him. That's the only reason why I don't want to double up on it. But I will just take that first 5. I will go with you guys there. First 5 under 5. That makes a lot of sense. This is a Noli knows and Mr. Wisdom look. And Rich G, White Sox team total over 5 at plus 125. Christian Larson saying Buxton is back in the lineup. They need him. All right, let's move on to Giants, Rockies, and then Diamondbacks, Dodgers, and then we move on to NBA. And Dennis Garcia making a tennis move here. Dennis Garcia, WTA move on a dog right here. There we go. All right. Stelly, no. We might, we could do a live one. But we won't be doing what we did in previous years because I had a graphics team doing all the work there for the graphics, for the videos that we were putting out. All right, strategic investments. Great to see him in the chat. Great capper. Also making moves in tennis. Great to see our guys' strategic investments. Wow, look at Razor. Jazz total just dropped 2 more points to 216.5. Those of you who are talking over. Wow. Stelly, we'll talk, though. Okay. All right, let's move on to Giants, Rockies, Gaussman, John Gray. We had Noli Knows talk about John Gray's loss of velocity. Gaussman, 4.54 ERA, 1.26 whip. He's had a very good season at times through that complete game and then came back with a clunker. Still nice K to walk ratio, 48 Ks, 8 walks. Giants 17-19, Rockies 17-18. So this is for those 7 and 8 seeds in the playoffs. Both teams gunning for those spots. Rockies bullpen terrible, 6.01 ERA, 1.51 whip. Maga Cash Money says over game. Oh, sorry, Maga, are we talking about this spot? Or are we talking about that Jazz Nuggets game? Gaussman started for the Giants against the Rockies on August 4th, allowed 4 runs, 3 earned, 5 hits, and a walk, 7 strikeouts in 5 1/3. Rockies. So Maga saying this Rockies-Giants game feels like an over. Let's see what we're dealing with from a market perspective. Total is at 12.5. Total is at 12.5. And C-Max says, I've been on the over in Jazz Nugs all series and going to the over again. Wow. Wow. TJ saying great plus money line play here on the Giants. Giants 7-3 in their last 10. Rockies just lost 3 of 4 at home to the Padres. They'll find this easier. Gray 1-5 in 11 starts against the Giants, 5.30 ERA, 1.62 whip. Giants are batting 296 against them. And Gaussman, 2 previous starts against the Rockies, 0-1, 6.97 ERA, but better whip. Wow, the Giants is a big dog. It's a very interesting look. Ricardo Hernandez says Giants sneaky play. And what an interesting look on the Giants. I still don't have it up in my book. I wonder why. Oh, I guess it's only up at 2 books right now anyways. Okay, a 3rd book just added this. And the Rockies are just slight favorites. Is that enough for you? It's Gaussman. I have Gaussman. If anyone else, Noli says can't trust Gray. Yeah, it's just not big enough. Not a big enough plus spot there. Let's move on to Diamondbacks, Dodgers, and put a bow on this MLB card. 75 Fahrenheit clear, 7 miles per hour out to right field. This Dodgers team just keeps on rolling. Last out for Urias. He gave up 4 runs on 6 hits on 4 innings against the Giants. But the Giants hit lefties hard. These D-backs don't hit lefties at all. And TJ saying plus 130 on the Giants. K. Paul VIP says easy pass. Young versus Urias. Young's come in to replace Mad Bum. Made 2 relief appearances against the Dodgers in July. 1 earned run, 2 innings. One of Urias' 2 victories came against the Diamondbacks on August 1st. 2 runs, 5 hits over 6 in Arizona. 2-1 with a 2.08 ERA and 4 lifetime appearances against the Diamondbacks. But we have another giant favorite. Christopher Comatini says Zona and sell mode. The Dodgers don't hit lefties. The Diamondbacks don't hit lefties. This total opened up at 9. It's now at 8.5. The first 5 total was at 5 at a very juiced at a couple books, but 4.5 at most of them. All right. I agree with you that the Diamondbacks sell mode, trading away Marte, don't look tough, but I'm not going to make a move here with a huge favorite. Steve Priest says Dodgers 8-2 versus left-handed pitching. It just shows what a great baseball team they are because they're hitting just 223, 674 OPS against them, lefties. TJ says my book's offering $200 or plus 200 Dodgers White Sox parlay, have to hammer it. All right, that is our MLB card. C-Max is staying off, small lean on over 8.5. All right, we are doubling up Cardinals Reds, first 5 under, full game under. Then we make no moves until we get to this Pirates first 5. And I just don't know if that's a big enough line, plus 120. That's just not enough value for a team that's 10-22, 5-9 at home against this Cubs team that made 3 trades and desperately needs a win. It's just not enough. But then Hayes is going to – I just want more. I just want more money. It's not enough. No Pirates first 5 for me. It's just not enough. You have to be rewarded. I'm going to double up on the Braves. First 5 -0.5, full game -1. Mr. Wisdom saying first 5 -0.5 on the Pirates. I mean, let me just take a look at that quickly. That might be the spot here. Plus 145. That makes more sense. But I'm just not going to take it. All right, double up on the Braves. And then this Astros team total over 5.5 makes sense to me at just minus 105. Oh, and we don't even know if this Astros-Rangers game is going to play also. They're still waiting for the clearance from the COVID test. But I think that Astros over 5.5 makes sense to me. And Framber's pitching so well. I guess that means if you take the over 5.5, the minus 145, it makes a ton of sense on the run line. I hate the 5.5s, but I think the Astros get there. Okay, Mitch Bruner said the game is on. All right, over 5.5 team total for the Astros. And then first 5 under 5 White Sox Twins. And that is my MLB card. That is my MLB card. Put a bow on MLB. And we move into NBA. Let's talk NBA right now with our special guest. It's been too long since we've had him on the show. I miss him very, very much. Let's pop him up right now. Trot Wam in the house. Wham Bam coming to us live from Long Beach, California. Wham Bam, what's happening?
What's up, Jimmy, man? Everything's good? I got the clear feed and everything. What's up, bro?
Yeah, you're looking good, man. You're looking good. We miss you. Sure. Yeah. I'm on a big run on sides and totals, and I've given too much of it back on props, and I can't wait to have you to break this NBA card down. 2 games, but massive games. Wham Bam getting love from the chat. Getting love from the chat. It's time to get to work. And we have to start with the most exciting game for me on the card. Now, it's not a game 7. But Celtics, Raptors. Raptors have gone into the bubble dominant, except against one team, these Boston Celtics. So one thing that jumped out at me before the series started was the odds for the series were ridiculous. Celtics at plus 130. This, to me, was a pick'em, a complete pick'em. And the Celtics looked very, very good. Celtics pace in their 8 seeding games was 101.06 possessions a game. In the playoffs, just 97.6 possessions a game. In game 1, the pace was 105 possessions a game. They came out, they punched the Raptors in the mouth. They ran at a very fast pace, led by as much as 19 in the first quarter. Obviously, Toronto played poorly, shot poorly, 36.9% as a team, 25% from three-point range. No Enes Kanter. Who needs him? 6 Boston players scored in double figures. Of course, Tatum looked great. And Anunoby has a big, big task on his hands trying to keep him down. Marcus Smart played tough. God, he's good. 21 points. Then Theis, Walker, Robert Williams, and Lowry dealing with the left ankle sprain. Pascal Siakam and Fred VanVleet look terrible. Fred VanVleet has his kids and family come join him, and does that hurt him? Does that cost him sleep? I mean, it takes him out of his rhythm. Celtics, Raptors, Wham. Let's see what we're dealing with here. NBA, let's go. Celtics, Raptors.
Yeah, this game is very interesting, bro.
Raptors are 1.5-point favorites. This total's gone from 216 to 218.5. Wham, bam. Take it away.
So, like you said, they shot terrible, bro. We cannot anticipate them shooting like that again. I mean, Fred VanVleet, I started off here. He shot 2 for 11 on uncontested shots. That's wide open. He's hitting 44% when he gets that shot normally. But in this series, is he spooked? Like you said, bro, is the family throwing him off that much? That's funny. I didn't think about that. But yeah, that may be it, man. I mean, 3 for 6 for the field. That was pretty trash. 18% on those wide open shots. That's not good. But the thing is here, I believe that's taken away for Toronto is the transition points. They're averaging, I believe, about 26 transition points in that series against the Brooklyn Nets. They got held really low, about like 11 transition points in the game. And then I think Marcus saw getting exposed on pick and roll scenarios, man. He's getting exposed on pick and roll scenarios. He needs to get his minutes ate up. I believe if they make that adjustment, this will be a real good game. Get more Ibaka out there. Get more Ibaka out there. I like Toronto, honestly, in this spot. I mean, I was leaning Boston because I freaking missed the money line last time. And I'm leaning Boston just because of that. But I kind of threw that game out the way, because they're not going to play like this again in this game. This is a 7-game series written all over it, right, bro? Like 6-7 games written all over it. I got to think that the coach of the year, Nick Nurse, is going to make the right adjustments here and give Fred VanVleet those same shots. Like he had wide open shots. Get those same shots here. But it does look like a matchup problem, bro. I haven't made a bet on this game. It looks like this is a matchup problem. It's tough, bro. This is a tough one. I think the transition points, if we see that in this game, man, you might have to call it curtains, bro, because Toronto needs to be on the break. They need to get their long wings active. If he's going to be on the court, Marcus Gasol is on the court, and he's not hitting threes. So if he's hitting threes, then it's going to be good for him. But if he's not hitting threes like he was, wasn't in that game, it's not going to work out, bro. I think it's going to be curtains, man. It might be curtains for Boston. For Toronto. But for the most part, I would lean Toronto. I think they're going to bounce back. It's still short number. It's getting more toward of a realistic line now. Because that first game, like you're saying, it popped off. Just take Boston, and it seemed too easy. And sometimes when it's tend to be too easy, you know how it be, bro. You be on the wrong side of that. So I think here Toronto may be in a good spot here. I think they're going to bounce back. They shot really bad, and I think Kyle Lowry towards the end of the game seemed to figure it out. I think towards the end of the game he seemed to figure it out. It was already too much damage done, so I think him having enough fresh start, he'll come out playing a little bit better early on. So that's another reason why I feel like they're having trouble, because he was coming out early on not good. And I think the pace is going to continue to keep up, bro. I like the over here. I think both of these games for today is going to go over, even though the line is telling us otherwise here. I think today's Celtics game, I like the over there for the Celtics, but I'm leaning Toronto, bro.
Well, let's talk about this total, because if Nurse is going to make adjustments, the first noticeable thing is the Celtics are playing so fast, way faster than the Raptors expected, way faster than they'd been in the first series, way faster than they were in the 8 seeding games. How would you adjust to that if you were coaching the Raptors?
That's a good question. I mean, I honestly think getting Marc Gasol minutes 8 up is going to help you get a little bit more up tempo, and you want to get some of these younger guys that have been known to play pretty good defense, like Boucher. He could get out there and play good defense on the perimeter, and he's what, a center? Isn't that a guy like a center and shit? Like, you need to get some of these guys that's long and athletic in the game. So I think that may counter what you're seeing. You said it, bro. They had Enes Kanter in the first quarter, first round playing. He didn't. Robin Williams didn't see a lick in the first round. Flip flop in this next game. So you see, Brad Stevens is not playing any games. He has game plans for us. Look like every team he sees. He looks like one of those guys that's up late at night, making adjustments, making the right adjustments. And let's not get it wrong. Like, these open shots that Fred VanVleet was missing, I could definitely put my finger on that. Brad Stevens is going to see that in the film and try to take that away, and it may be a little even more tougher. So this could be something that we see them really struggling shooting. But I don't think that Toronto is going to fall in the same spell as they did in this game. I think they're going to make the right adjustments, and you've seen it as well. Nick Nurse was making adjustments in game. Throwing blitzes at the players, trying to get these guys off rhythm. They play a good defensive scheme against Jason Tatum typically throughout this season already. So they already play him pretty well. He didn't have that much of a good game. So if they had a replica of what they did the last game with Jason Tatum, and just try to narrow in some other guys, like if they could get Kemba out of making 20 points, that'll help them, man. I feel like them getting this pace, though, bro, it's going to be just them getting Marcus off the ball. I think you just got to get him off the ball. He's getting susceptible in those pick and roll spots.
Do you take Gasol off the court?
Almost all. I'm thinking of having him start early. You know what I mean? Just to throw him off, taking him out early, taking him out within the next minute and 30 seconds or 2 minutes or something like that, and possibly seeing him around 15 minutes. So I think you could put him in the game. But as far as having him in a high 20 minutes, I don't think that's a good look. You're not going to be able to keep that pace like you're trying to say. I don't think you're trying to keep that pace there, bro.
Let's just take a look at game 1 quickly. Claudio S. talking about, are there player props that are interesting? We go to Gasol. He was minus 18 on the floor. Not as bad as VanVleet, but 26 minutes. It feels like he's a problem out there. But it
didn't look like it though. Like, on the stats, it didn't. I was watching the game and looking at the stats. I was like, he's actually pretty good as far as the plus minus, like you saying, bro. As far as everyone else, and he looked like he was just getting torn up, like Robert Williams, Kemba Walker, pick and roll. He's getting windmill dunk. I mean, it just doesn't look right. It wasn't a good look for him. I'm sorry for cutting you off, bro.
No, it's all good. So do we see Ibaka getting all of the time and Gasol basically backing up even if he starts?
I think Ibaka needs to be in the. He already showed that he could shoot the ball last game against this team, and I don't think Ibaka. I don't think he has like a condition issue or anything like that. So you could get him out. You could get him out there, and he could get a nice chunk of minutes in the 30 minutes if you want. But I think they got other players that they could just increase the minutes as well. But it's crazy though because Siakam shot bad. I think Siakam, if you think about it as well, this total was at 217, and they're only about 9 points away from hitting this total, or 8 points away from hitting the over in this game. And we see how bad this Toronto team shot the ball. I think the total definitely lean over, and I think the pace is there. And as far as these Gasol being off, man, I think you definitely give it to Ibaka. Other than you got the other guys, though. I think you got Chris Boucher and all the other guys. I think you got other guys that you could put in there. Get some more minutes.
Boucher played 4 minutes. Hollis Jefferson 2 minutes.
Hollis Jefferson, that's perfect. He's supposed to be the Kawhi substitute, bro. Where's he at?
Yeah, you think he would help defensively. Yes, Ben Martin, big, giant horse day on Saturday, Kentucky Derby day. So I think the one thing that is screaming at me is get Gasol off the floor, take his under, and that's already been bet by the betting public. Is point total at 7.5. It's minus 140 to the under, which is crazy. But points, rebounds, and assists for Gasol, 16.5. 16.5. And if the idea is to get him off the floor, he went 7 points, 6 boards, 2 assists. He was 15. He was right there. They just don't give out. There's just no free money in the NBA, man. I agree with you. I agree with you that it feels like a spot where all that has to happen is the Raptors need to shoot a little, have a higher shooting percentage, and this game flies over. The issue to me is that why wouldn't you fight back if you were Nurse by slowing your pace down to a crawl?
True. Slowing it down to a crawl, man, like a month-old baby crawl, like they barely could walk. You know what I mean? Barely could even put they. That's very interesting. That's very interesting.
Tell them to spend to wait it out unless there's a steal or some sort of a transition play that you want to take advantage of. Other than that, slow it down. So if the Celtics know that they want Tatum flying, they want Jalen flying, why not try to get them out of that rhythm by slowing everything down? That's the only – because Nurse is going to do something.
Right.
Oh, wow.
You know what?
Just drew post 17. Good.
I got a question as well. And as far as that game, the first game, like, correct me if I'm wrong here. Did they go after Kemba? They didn't really go after Kemba like that in the first game. If I'm thinking of it correctly, like that wasn't something that they were continuously to do, and that's typically what you're seeing in the regular season. People going after Kemba on defense. So I don't remember that seeing that much. Do you recall any moments that they're going after Kemba?
No, but I didn't probably see enough of that. But I don't see Kemba as this huge weak spot for them defensively. Do you think he's the point that the Raptors should be attacking?
I feel like if you're gonna slow the pace down, you want to get switches off on Kemba. You know what I mean? Like that probably would be a look there. If I'm on the other side, if I'm thinking like of opposition here against the Celtics. I'm trying to probably take him to the hole. You know what I mean? Like the shortest guy on the court, trying to take him to the hole, try to use my advantage. You know, that probably would be the look there. But I mean, I just thought about it right now, bro. This whole time, I've been capping this game. I'm like, damn, like I don't remember them going after him like that, bro. So that could be an adjustment that you make.
Well, after what I've seen when the Celtics play the Raptors, I'm not going to bet on the Raptors in this game. I need to see them. And if I see them competing, I imagine that it's going to be slowing the Celtics down and defending and not getting into a race with them. So my feeling is to take the under here. And as you talked about it, you said, what's the coach of the year going to do? Well, he's going to do something drastic. And what number jumps out at you when you look at this stats from game one? What jumps out at you? I mean, yeah, you could say, yeah, it's Van Fleet not shooting well or something of that. But to me, it's the pace.
Right.
So the Celtics had 8 more possessions in game one than they've had in the playoffs. And everybody seeing how fast the pace is and how poor the Toronto Raptors shot are now pushing that over up. So, okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cheer you on like crazy, Wham. I want the Raptors to win. I'll be cheering you on like crazy. But I'm going to wait and see how high this total gets. And I'm going to watch it all day. And there's 219 and a halves out there. What do you say, Wham?
I was gonna say I like your analogy there because you're thinking that if it does happen, they're gonna have to slow the pace down. I think they're used to going up and down the floor though, bro. Like their transition average was 24 points per game. I think the fact that you're seeing that Boston allowing 11 points per game in transition points, that may be the adjustment there. I think it still may be an up-tempo plays. That's why I think Gasol off the floor is the play. You know what I mean? That's why I think Gasol getting off the floor is the play. But it makes sense. If I see Gasol in there, bro, if I see Gasol in there, he's in there to spread the floor, get the threes, and play, anchor defense on the other side. And they're going to look at their wing players, like you're saying, they're going to go slow the plays down. So if Marc Gasol is in, that's leaning towards that under. That correlates, I think, with the under, like you're saying, and his props is gonna go over. So it said the NBA is tricky as fuck, bro. It's all type of scenarios that can happen, bro.
And I agree. And Birdie, look, I don't mean automatic. There's no automatic. Nothing's automatic in the NBA. So I'm not sitting here going, oh, this will happen and this will happen at all. And here, look at all the betting public hammering the over. And I'm not sitting here going, oh, I'm smarter than the betting public. I just, after breaking this game down, one of two things can happen. And Van Fleet can get right here from outside, which wouldn't surprise me. But I've had very poor success in the bubble betting on when a player is going to get right. And then secondly, you have to do something to throw a stick in the Celtics spokes. You have to do something and maybe just moving to a crawl and having Lowry take a long time and try to get the Celtics out of their rhythm is it. And to defend. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to take a shot on the under, but I'm going to wait and see exactly how high it goes. And as soon as I see it coming back down, and so I'm not going to try to say that Van Fleet will have one game bad and be rolling right now. So Wham, officially, you are on the Raptors this evening. Are you taking them? You haven't bet them yet. You said you're going to take them money line or 1.5. So
I'm thinking to take them at the -1.5. If I think they're going to win, I think they're going to win by more than 2 points here. So I'm thinking about taking them on the -1.5. I haven't made it official yet, but definitely be on the lookout there. That's where I'm leaning, bro. I think it's just a bounce back spot. I think this is going to be a 7-game series. I think Boston will win this battle, though. I think Boston is the better team as far as it might be a personnel issue for Toronto. But I think they could get some games here, and I believe that Kyle Lowry won't be having that bad of a start early on. I think he's going to start off a lot better than he did on the first game. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. I think -1.5. That's where it's at, and it seems like the line is moving towards Toronto right now as well, if I'm not mistaken. So I might want to hit that a little early, but you be on the lookout. Trot Wam on Twitter. I'll be definitely posting that one up. I already made a play on the next game though, so I think we already know what we're gonna talk about there. But I'm gonna let you lead us in there, bro.
Game 7, Jazz Nuggets. This has been such an incredible series. Unbelievable what Mitchell and Murray are doing now. Jokic has got, as soon as Jokic started playing like we expected him to play, the Nuggets win Game 5 and Game 6. Obviously, Gary Harrison defending on the perimeter is being a big deal. But right now, if Mitchell gets a third 50-point game, he will pass Elgin Baylor for the single series record of 284 points set in 1962. And Murray's not
Wow.
that far behind it as well. That's how spectacular these guys are playing. Dennis Garcia says took under at 218 going back to Utah. Let's see what we are dealing with from a market perspective. That is Utah at -1 opening. It's now a pick 'em at some books, or Utah -1 and -105. This total opened up at 220.5, and it's moving fast to the under. We heard Razor saying he sees 216.5. I don't see any here, but there are 217s.
No more.
No more. We'll
Yeah.
have to jump right back up. Okay.
Yeah, it's up back at 217.5. A lot of places now.
The slowest pace of any series is this Jazz Nuggets, and these games are going over because of shooting percentages.
Mm-hmm.
Fap Win says, I see Denver getting a fast lead here. First half bet is what Fap is looking at. Griffin says, took both Murray and Mitchell over points prop bet. They've been unstoppable all series. I don't see that changing in Game 7. All right. 7th game in NBA's franchise history. So the Nuggets looking to advance for the first time ever in the best of 7 when they fell behind 3-1. Only 11 teams in NBA history have done this. Only 11. And Utah has never failed to advance after leading a series 3-1. What an unbelievable, unbelievable series. Nate Schellhammer says, I like Denver to move on. All right. Jazz, Nuggets, Trot Wam, take it away.
Man, this game is crazy. This series has been crazy, bro. So the average win margin in the last 3 games is leaning towards Denver. Obviously, they had a good game last game. Jamal Murray in this matchup. We really shouldn't even talk about. I heard a lot of this already, but this is Jamal Murray versus Donovan Mitchell. I don't think so in this game, though. I think it's going to be a team game, and we've seen some great team production. Don't get me wrong. As far as Jeremy Grant, he's been a great contributor for Denver, but Jokic as well been quietly assassin inside, outside, knocking down wide shots that he's wide open. He's been knocking those shots down, giving him a lot of credit, bro. And Jamal Murray, he seems like he's unstoppable, bro. He seems like he's unstoppable. Quinn Snyder said it, though, man. He's been crazy, amazing, and he's been doing it on contested jumpers. So these been contested jumpers that Quinn Snyder is already okay with you shooting. He's okay with. That's the game plan, is to have him look like Allen Iverson out there, and he's been holding it down. And, bro, that's crazy stat for Donovan Mitchell. Elgin Baylor, that's some elite company, man. A lot of people don't know about the history of basketball. Basketball has always been up and down as far as the trend. And back in those days, that guy was just unguardable, bro. He was unguardable. Couldn't nobody guard Elgin Baylor. And this shows a lot about what you're seeing with these two guys, bro. I like the over here. It's not broke, y'all. Don't fix it. You're seeing the money go, the total going down because Sharks trying to give us a blessing, y'all. They trying to bless us up. They trying to bless us up. 216.5 is where I got it. It's at 217.5 right now. I think it's going to continue to go up, bro, because no one is betting these unders, bro. At this point, if you haven't hopped on the trend right now, I don't think Game 7 is the way to go because if you haven't hopped on this trend already, but I've been betting Denver over since the bubble kind of started, bro. Well, after I think I missed the first 2 games, but after that, man, these guys haven't been playing any defense. But on this flip side, though, this is the reason why they've been winning these games as far as Denver. It's because they've been out rebounding the Jazz. They out rebounded the Jazz by 13 rebounds last game. I think they're going to out rebound them again today. I think Denver is the side. I think Denver does advance. They have players that haven't been playing good as well. They still missing players like Will Barton. And as far as this guy, Michael Porter Jr., he's been a fucking no-show in the playoffs pretty much. He's been MVP in the bubble when the games didn't matter. But now you're in the games that matters. He's pretty much null and void. Come on, man. He got to get something going, I feel, in this game. If Game 7 doesn't get you juiced up to be an impactful player, you know what I mean? He probably is not that guy that we thought he was for sure. So, but I think this Denver is the side here. I like the over, man. Just at this point, they're giving up 120 points per game their last 3 games in Utah. In the bubble, before the playoffs even started, Utah was giving up 119 points when Rudy Gobert was on the point. I'm sorry, 115.6 points per game inside the bubble. And Denver has no defense, y'all. It's the only reason why they're winning these games is because they're getting out rebound here. So, and they're making their shots. Both of these guys are shooting 61% efficient field goal percentage the last 3 games. That's crazy, bro. Like you can't bet an under when these guys shooting like this. So, bro, I'm taking the over, and I like Denver here, bro.
You take the stars off the floor. Who has the better in that being Mitchell and Murray? Who has the better supporting cast?
I would look. You know what's crazy is that it seems like it's a tie, though. It seems like it's a tie because, Royce O'Neal's been great ever since they got to Orlando. Jordan Clarkson's been great ever since he's been on the Jazz. As far as the young players, I would lean towards, Denver because they just have so many assets, bro. Gary Harris just being added on is crazy luxury that you just don't see. And he shot pretty good in that first game. His defense definitely was on there. And I honestly believe that he was ready, bro, because I was watching the games prior to game 5 and him in shoot arounds because ESPN airs the shoot arounds and stuff for some players. Him and Will Barton were doing shoot arounds together because they were like the injured reserve shoot arounds. Will Barton was jogging. Gary Harris is in game motion, and this was like a game 2, game 3. You know what I mean? So he's actually been getting in game shape for a while. I think he's ready to go, bro. So him being added, I would give them the edge just because he's a different dynamic that, he could definitely be one of those players like Jamal Murray, like Donovan Mitchell. It's just that he doesn't get that type of, shine right now. I think he has the skill set to do it.
Dennis Garcia says, Game 7, who can make a stop down the stretch? Utah. Do you agree with that?
I feel like these last 3 games, you haven't seen it. They shot 100. They allowed the opponents to shoot 120 points per game, and then they're not stopping these. They're not changing the game plan as far as what you're seeing for Quinn Snyder. He's saying that we need to be determined to attack. Those are the quotes from Quinn Snyder after the game, and he's saying that Jamal Murray is shooting contested shots. So that's the game plan that he's okay with. I feel like they're depending on, Rudy Gobert to be that anchor. And I think Quinn did point out that he wants them to trust each other as well on Utah. I think the situation with Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert did get blown out of proportion early on. But the contract dispute, that's something real. You know what I'm saying? Like after this game, if they lose, they're going to have a contract dispute as far as like who's going to get maxed out. I think they're going to try to max out both of them. Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell, but that's another situation that's neither here nor there. But that's something that I would look into. I would look into what team has the more help, and I feel like Denver has more help, and they're not getting any help from Michael Porter Jr. I have to imagine him playing at least giving us 17 points today. At least giving us 17 points. That's how I'm looking at it.
Dennis Garcia says, I don't want to see Clarkson one time on Mitchell. Here, what about this? If we say what drastically changed in the series, would you say it was Jamal Murray putting the team on his shoulders, or would you say Jokic started winning the Gobert battle?
Well, that's what it really is. Jokic, I mean, he's kind of consistently been winning this battle. It's just that the game without Conley, those games, Gobert was more like a focal point in the offense. Now Conley's back on the floor, it's more of a spread offense rather than them doing a lot. I mean, they're doing a lot of pick and rolls. That's pretty much their whole fucking game plan. It's Jazz off a pick and roll. Either Conley's going to shoot it, Donovan Mitchell's going for an inside jumper, layup, and that's pretty much how they've been doing it. Or the defender is going to go under the screen, and Donovan Mitchell's going to pull up and shoot it. So I think that's kind of where they've been doing an offense. As far as this Gobert Jokic battle, it's going to be Jokic because he gets the most touches out of any big man in the league history. So I think he's going to win that battle just because it's going to be more thrown at Rudy Gobert rather than it is going to be at Jokic. So I think he's been winning that battle. It's just that it's been more cases that you're seeing Gobert being highlighted in the offense, though, bro. In this game, man, I just think Denver is just they have everything kind of running great on offense. The reason why they lost one of those games and the total didn't go over is because they shot 36% from the field, and they haven't been doing that since. So I like the over, bro, and give me Denver, man, because they've been shooting really good.
I get it. Geghard A, Jason Folk looking at Jokic props, and Jokic in a game when the Nuggets put up 119 points, went 22-9, and just 4 rebounds. And is it because he needs to win the battle on the 3-point line on the perimeter? He needs to hit threes and see if he can draw Gobert out, because when it comes down low, he just can't get the boards against Rudy Gobert. This points, rebounds, and assists is at I think it's 42 and a half, the exact same it is with Donovan Mitchell. But I can't trust Yoki to get the boards. I mean, can you trust Joker to get the boards to get you that player prop?
Nah, he's more like a box out type of guy, bro. He's trying to box out and let Jeremy Grant get let these guys get the board for him. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't, like you said, though, he's trying to break him out to the 3. He's in that corner 3 most of the time. That's where he gets a lot of his 3-pointers from. He gets the straightaway elbow threes too, but he's mostly in the corner trying to drag him out, and that's kind of different. That's kind of difficult though, bro. Because the reason why I would say Jokic over that prop over, because I think he's going to get points though. I think he's going to get points. This is a big game, bro. This is a big game. His under rebounds at 9.5. That makes sense, man. That makes sense.
So much sense.
But I mean, he could get a triple double, bro. Like, like it's so difficult in this game because it's game 7. So you don't understand, like, you don't think that Denver is trying to empty out the playbook. You know what I mean? I think they would try to empty out the playbook if Jamal Murray finds any sort of adversity in this game. You know what I mean? Like if he's rolling, they're going to just keep going for what's been working. But what the alternate is, I believe, for Jamal Murray to not be actually, getting it going, is Jokic getting the ball more, and that could lead to putbacks and shit like that, bro. So it's kind of tricky though. It's kind of tricky, but this Rudy Gobert matchup, like you said, bro, if it gets down to like big men down low, it could go Rudy Gobert's way because he has the height advantage and he's a little bit more athletic. But it's tough, bro. It's tough. Jokic ain't doing that.
There are 2 back-to-back wins for the Nuggets, and Jokic has totaled 10 boards, 6 in game 5, 4 in game 6, and his over 9.5 rebounds is minus 135. That's why Shaft's getting the minus 105 on the under. There's Ish Kurt in the house. We got Danny Moore rolling with us. And that's just nuts to me. It's absolutely nuts. Crazy to me. Michael Evelina says, what are Gobert's totals? My site doesn't have him yet. I've got him right here. Gobert, 11.5 boards, 15.5 points. I mean, at this point, I would want, if I was going to take a player points assists, I'd cut the rebounds out and just take points and assists with our man Joker, because then it's 32.5 points and assists.
That's the play. Yeah, if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna do that, you're having issues with that matchup as far as rebounding. But man, they've been out rebounding them guys. They out rebounded them by 13 out rebounds last game. So it doesn't seem like whatever they've been doing to this matchup, it's been working. So I don't think they're gonna try to change that too much because they've been out rebounding them as far as the last 3 games on average by 6. So they've been doing that.
Look at the Jokic 3-point prop. These books are such assholes. They're leaving it at 1.5, but it's minus 200.
Oh, that's terrible. That's cold.
So
That's
cool.
cold. That's cold. That's cold.
What terrible, terrible people.
I seen that the Ibaka first. I seen Al Mack cash that Ibaka 3 like within the first 6 minutes because Ibaka was left open and he was knocking down the threes. I seen him. It was at 1.5. I think it was plus money though. So that's something to look at though. Sometimes those props do, they kind of would cash because the game plan does change. And that -2, that's cold, bro. That's cold. -200,
Oh,
that's cold.
so Shaf has cashed on the under for Jokic props every game all series. Great job, Shaf. Something's working. Why mess with it? But they have the Jokic props at FanDuel DraftKings at 2.5 at plus money. Okay. Well, I'm going to bet that Jokic gets points. And there's no need for me to add in the assists, I don't think, because the points and assists is what, 32.5.
Right.
Just points alone is sorry, let me pull this up. Points alone is just it's 24.5. Okay, so 8 assists. So let's see in game 5. Game 5, Jokic had 4 assists. Why bother? It's just points. It's points. And that's what Jason Falk says. Points is the way to play Jokic. I can see
That
more
part.
free throw attempts as well tonight. Griffin says, I like Jokic points. What's it at? It's at 24.5. Yeah, I agree. I think that's what's been happening. And so I think it's simplifying it. Okay. So
like
let's
that.
go back to a review of action. Trot Wam, so much fun getting to sit here with 2 games and break them down like this. What a treat it is to roll with you. Strategic Investments, though, says no to the player point prop. Just no.
He just said no. That's all he said.
Sure. Jazz Nuggets, Trot Wam, how you what's your official move here?
Yeah, my official play was 216.5. I made that play, but I'll go ahead and just go out the limb here. I'll endorse the 218 that you're seeing that's starting to pop up, 217.5. I'll endorse that as well. So I'll give that our official play. This game, Denver over 218. I think it goes all the way over that, bro. This sounds like an overtime game, y'all. This game, before this matchup, they went overtime. They went overtime twice in this series already, or they're due for the twice. I think they're due for the second time. So, hey, I like this. Over Denver over. I like it at 2. Get it at 218, man. If it gets a little bit higher than that, if you haven't did it, chill out. You know what I'm saying? Just sit back and watch the game. It's gonna be exciting. As far as that first game, I definitely am leading Toronto. I will make my card official before the game started, so definitely follow me on Trot Wam. But right now, I give it over 218. I give it over 218, bro.
I like it, and I am going to take the under in Celtics Raptors, and I'm going to sit and wait. How high can it get up to? Oh shit, the 219s are gone. Damn it. That just happened fast. There were 219.5 when I was. Oh, all right.
Oh, yeah. I see them at. This is the different game. My apologies.
218.5. Wow, that happened.
218.5. Yeah.
Okay, well, then I'm not going to wait. I'm going to pull the trigger on the under 218.5. And I'm not going to pull the trigger on the over. I'm not going to do that just because the pace is being so slow. 93.54 possessions a game in this series. And I'm not going to take the under here. But what if there are Game 7 jitters? You know, I know there's 0 people in the stands, but what if there are jitters? So, but I'm not against your play in any stretch of the imagination. I'm on Jokic over 24.5 points. I think Jokic is a difference maker, and Gobert is a tricky tricky task. And what it creates is Jokic has to hit shots from the perimeter, whether it be behind the three-point line or not, and he has to continue shooting even if it's not going well. And when he goes inside, Gobert beats him for the boards. So Tori Coker says to me, Utah will win. Look how the series has been going. Razor Sharp says if Utah wins, it stays under. Denver wins, then over. Trevino Sloan says if Murray plays like he did, I don't see Joker getting over 26. He won't see the ball. Look, Jamal's being spectacular. Smith Legacy says, what about Murray over 31.5 points? I have a rule, Smith Legacy, and it saved me a ton of money. And that's that I don't take a prop over 29.5 ever.
I like that.
Atso Zudir says, I wouldn't trust Jokic over 24.5, mostly being under in the series. Addo, there's been a change in the series. And so I don't take a look at what's happened in game 1 through 4. I take a look at what's happened in game 5 and 6 because Malone has made adjustments. And those adjustments are keep Jokic to the outside, and then he's going to be left alone because Gobert doesn't want to go out there. So that's my thinking. But I hear you, Addo. I hear you. And I think he's a gamer. I wish he spent more time in the gym working out, but I think he's a gamer. Darnell Wilson says, any taint today? Yes, we have a taint. It is Yankees -1. Is the taint play of the day. Trot Wam, what a treat it is to have you back in action. We miss you very, very much. Thank you for joining us. Follow this man on Twitter at Trot Wam. It's right there on the screen at Trot Wam. And what a treat. Ace Purple says, bro, take that Jokic 1.5, 3 points at -200. That's another thing I don't do is take -200.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. You gotta be doing that.
I think he's going to get there, but what am I going to do? But
corner threes alone. If it was corner threes, we could get probably a plus money on that. If they could do corner threes, that might be the one to go. That might be the one to go.
Yeah. Matt, unless I'm going to bet $5,000 on it, and then he sprains his ankle, and then I just don't come home for a week. Right. Trot Wam, what a treat it is to roll with you. Thank you for joining us, my man. Good luck with your action today, and have a great Tuesday, my friend.
Off top, bro. Hey, man. Love y'all. Appreciate it. Thanks. Shout out to odds.com for the opportunity. Y'all know what it is, man. Trot Wam. And let's get this money, bro. I'm on the over 218, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to take that Toronto -1. So -1.5. Hopefully it gets the -1, though. But all right, y'all, man. That's it, bro.
There he is. Wham Bam in the house. Wham Bam in the house. Let's move on to NHL, and then we will do a review for our Chief Billion joining us. We start with Islanders Flyers. Islanders Flyers game 5. Islanders are up 3-1. Flyers power play is still stuck in first gear. And this Islanders team has everything going for it. And we talked about when the playoffs started, we said, who's the team that's going to get out of that first round series and roll? And I was wrong when I said it was the Carolina Hurricanes. It's the New York Islanders, looking to reach conference final for the first time since 1993. Wow. As I said off the top of the show, they were 1 point out of 8. They weren't even going to make the playoffs at that point when we had the break in March. Trotz said that win on Sunday was the worst game they played in the playoffs. And that's how you know how good of a hockey team you are, when you're winning and you're not playing well. Imagine if they played like the Stars or the Avalanche, with how bad the Stars and Avalanche goaltending is being and how good Varlamov or Greiss or whoever is. Now, Vigneault has done this before. Vigneault took the Rangers back from a 3-1 deficit to beat the Penguins in 2014. The Rangers did it again in 2015, and Trotz was the coach. That was against the Capitals. Birdie says, I like the Flyers here. It will be my first bet on the Flyers. New York Islanders openly stated winning that fourth game is the toughest. It's in their head. I like this spot for the Flyers tonight. I think that's a great point. I don't know why Trotz makes such a big deal about winning that fourth game. I wonder what that psychologically, what he thinks that psychologically does for his team, because I don't like it. Strategic investments making moves on the Islanders says the Flyers couldn't have played any better than they did in the second period of Game 3, even out shooting New York by a 17-3 margin. The Islanders still picked up when it mattered most and gained the win. They're the better team at both ends of the ice, and they're a contender. The Islanders are a completely different team when Pelech is healthy. And there's Matt Randall's play of the day. Johnny K going to the Flyers. Von Polo says my Islanders and Avalanche futures are looking very good. Your Islanders futures are looking very good. I got on late, Von Polo, on the Avalanche train, but I am not sitting here confident. Not with Hutchinson in net. Michael Evelina says, I think the best bet if you want Flyers is -0.5 in the first period or money line. NJ Marco. Brady said, I think it takes pressure off the next game. It's built an excuse of the loss. Let's not get overblown. It's hard to win the fourth game. It's actually brilliant, says Brady. It's actually brilliant, says Brady. Evelina says, I still think the Islanders win. And NJ Marco, Anders Lee, and JG Pajot for anytime goals. Jeff Joseph says, cannot see a wide open game. Under is my play. I agree, but I don't like the under in elimination games because you can be right all game long and lose the bet. And it's extremely irritating. All right, let's see what we're dealing with. Money lines and totals here. Islanders, Flyers. Islanders opening up at -110, now -125. 15-cent move towards them. Mr. Goger says, Isles, don't overthink it. Well, strategic investment says Flyers look emotionally defeated. Ace Purple says, so take the over. No, I'm not going to take the over here. But it's tricky. It's tricky to hit these fives. You know, you can have a 2-0 game and the Flyers pull their goalie with 4 minutes left. Aaron Maybe says, I think New York Islanders are just better. Canadian Capper, 72, making a move on over 2.5 shots. He's a shooter on the first line power play now. All year he was second line power play. He's a shooter. Easy money. Over 2.5 shots. -110 for Beauvillier. That's a great look, Canadian Capper. Mr. Gokster says Flyers have been a wreck all playoffs long. I think that's a little harsh, Gokster. Jason Falk says if Philly wins this one, next game would be an Islanders smash. There's JL in the house. Great to see you, my man. Both teams' penalty killing has been poor in the hub. 78.4% for the Islanders. It doesn't hurt them because the Flyers' power play has been so anemic. No Twatty, JL. No Twatty. We did have Trot Wam. Yes, and Razor Sharp says, Gogs, did you not watch the round robin when they swept? I think that the Flyers step up and win this hockey game. But I don't want to bet against the Islanders. You're getting plus 105 on the Flyers here. And look, the Islanders just keep winning. Ace Purple says, so you like the over if you like the Flyers. If you bet against the Islanders, you lose. So I've got to take my Flyers lean and stuff it as far down as I possibly can so I don't feel it. C-Mac says, torn here, being on the right side every game, it's hard to go off Flyers. Jeff Joseph, Flyers beat a weak Montreal defense. Price couldn't do it all. Isles, a big step up in every aspect. I agree with that. Ron Crawford coming in with a spreadsheet play today on the Reds. Mr. Ghost says, remember, Jimmy, hockey's the easy one. You're absolutely right. Slat says Matthew Barzal over a half assist at plus 160 is one player I constantly notice. He's their best player. Birdie says, totally agree. You're betting the spot, not the team. If you actually like the Flyers, take the puck line because you believe this is a letdown spot for the Islanders. Sage Lawrence, back in action. Great to see you. So we've hit 6 of our last bets in NHL, with 4 of them being big plus money spots. Nice, JL. Yeah, it was that was the kind of play, if I was having a better season, that I would have just hammered, but still needed the cash and still thankful for it. Birdie says the Islanders are far superior versus the Capitals, and they lost the first series clincher. Strategic Investment says, what do you like about the Flyers? I like certain players on the Flyers team and their coach to get the most out of their bench. I like Couturier to use his size, win faceoffs, and play his best hockey. And I like Carter Hart to step up. Yeah, we'll definitely do one, JL. I like Vigneault to get the absolute most out of his hockey team down 3-1. And I like the players to look and say, we're not going to get embarrassed by this New York Islanders team. Because that's what will happen. If they lose in 5 to the Islanders, it's absolute embarrassment. Their backs are against the wall. I mean, if we go to this lineup, you have all these vets on the Flyers that aren't stepping up. And that line of Couturier, Giroux, and Voracek should be stepping up. All right. Jason Falk, I'm not going to take the Flyers here. I can't. Razor Sharp says, I think the total says Carter's going to bounce back. Mr. Gogan says, Islanders' money line is getting worked. Look, if they're going to offer me a plus 120 on the Flyers, I'll take it. Ray Kimbrell, great to see you. We're going to go over everything in a second. Let's just talk about Canucks Golden Knights, put a bow on this show. Both power plays are rolling. The fact is the Canucks just can't play shutdown hockey. It's not in their DNA. Claudio says Giroux's been terrible. 1 goal in the last 25. He asked me. Geg Hardy, I don't think that you should ever turn a dog into a favorite line. Ever. That's a great idea, Michael Evelina. Andy McKinnon says, Jimmy, we're getting plus 220 on Islanders in the elimination game. What do you mean plus 220? Oh, you mean minus 1.5. Look, I get it, Andrew. I get it. Look, there's things that get in the way of your capping. And for me, no, it's all good, Andrew. No, I get. Oh, JL, that means when you have a dog like the Canucks, you have this Canucks squad at plus 195, and instead you take them plus 1.5 and turn them into a minus 125 bet. I've never done that, and I will never, ever do that. You take the risk for the dog. The problem here is in the third period, the Golden Knights turn it on, and the Canucks aren't capable of fighting back defensively. The only way the Canucks are able to get you is with Pettersson on a power play, with Horvat winning faceoffs. They simply aren't able to grind you down when they have a lead, and the team has to be able to do that. Strategic Investments, I'll put that note here, and I will send it to you as soon as the show ends. I'll DM it to you on Twitter. Dennis Garcia has Vegas at plus 225 pending for tonight. Vegas is in a very good spot. The Flower came in. Now they have arrested Lehner. Birdie says, we'll say on the Canucks game, all the money on Vegas, and that line is still moving towards the Knights. So I've made one bet on the Canucks in this series, and it was game 2. And in that game, I said that the line was absurd. And we have even worse. It's plus 195 for the Canucks, minus 235 for the Knights. The issue was, and Dennis says Markstrom looked tired. The issue was in game 2, I was sitting here saying, Markstrom can steal you a game. And I can't say that anymore. Brady says same spot with the line movement in that one. Yes. But I can't say that anymore. I can't sit here and say, oh, Markstrom will steal us a game, because he does not look as good as I was hoping he would look. He has an .894 save percentage, a 3.75 goals against average in this series. The Canucks went 2-5 on the power play in game 4 and couldn't win. And if you score 2 power play goals, you should win that hockey game. Cuban Connect in the house, great to see you. Shea Theodore has been excellent. I take a lot of shots at this Vegas defense, but I thought it was a one-man show with Nate Schmidt for a long time, but Theodore has been great. Birdie says you're not, though the books are writing this story just like game 2. I agree. But I remember before game 2 saying that this was an absurd line because I felt like Markstrom could step up and win games for you. I don't know if that's the case. And if Markstrom loses this game, he's not going to come back and play for the Canucks because I think it's a mistake to pay your goalie $6 million plus, and that's probably what he's looking for. Strategic Investment says Canucks are 7-2 in the last 9 games, playing on 1-day rest. So Mr. Gokster is on the over in this spot. I expect Travis Green to play as tight as possible, but I can understand the over. Jake Snide says, Jimmy, are you betting on any NHL games? I tell you, Jake, it's imperative that I win. And there's no way I'm going to bet on the Golden Knights at this number. The Golden Knights are capable of doing exactly what the Canucks aren't capable of doing, and that's protecting a lead. And I can't trust Markstrom right now. And I can't look at this Philadelphia Flyers lineup. If Konechny and Kevin Hayes aren't going to step up, then forget the Corsi rankings of these lines for the Flyers that are so high, because the Islanders just are better than them with a 4-line running 4 lines. Jake Snide says, I feel like Carter Hart might step up after the break. Yeah, I do too. Okay, I'll tell you this. There's 2 games on deck right now, and I don't have a play on either. But I'd be closer to taking the Flyers than I would the Canucks. And the last thing I want is on an elimination game when I don't trust Markstrom anymore to have money on the Canucks or even to have money on the over, because the Knights can just shut down the Canucks, and that's what they've proven, and we can't do the opposite. So if this line for the Flyers gets bigger than, if I get more than plus 110, I might make a move on the Flyers, and I'll tweet it out. But I can't trust Markstrom. And if I can't trust Markstrom, I'm not going to make a $200 bet on the Canucks and just despise myself. NJ Marco saying you need to bet goal scorers, Stone and Tuck, and Pedersen and Horvat. Human Connect, Islanders all in and under 6 in Vegas. So I'm not just going to sit here and give out a pick just because it's fun or we have a smorgasbord of sports where we're trying desperately to succeed. Birdie says no play for me in the Canucks. I agree, Jimmy. I can't figure this out. Maybe in game we can pull the trigger. This game is telling us to on the Canucks. And C-Mac loving those player props. Loving those player props that were popped out. Slats 45 jumped on the over 6 on the Avs Stars tomorrow. I hear you, Slats 45. How did we not take it every game? And do they even go back to Hutchinson? Will Oppie is also making a move, the Mr. Ghoster move on no run in that first inning. Ace Purple says no pick is better than a wrong pick. Yeah. Johnny K on JT Miller points. God, JT Miller's been so good. Just wish they had some toughness. Oh, you're a good man, Birdie. Thank you so much for the kind words. And Slats 45, I get it while you're on the over. I get it. But Bishop could come back and God, Hutchinson. I just can't believe it's game 6 to get to the Western Conference Finals and it's Michael Hutchinson there that you have to bet on. Okay. Let's go over all the looks on today's card. Cardinals, Reds, first 5 under, full game under, double up. Then we come to double up on the Braves over the Red Sox. This blew up in my face on Saturday. I was bullish on the Nationals over the Red Sox. I'm going to get my money back here is what I expect. Claudio says, what's your top play today? Oh, it's tough, Claudio. I hate when I lead you in the wrong direction with the best bet. Then we have this Astros-Rangers game that's just a thorn in my side. I'm going to take the over 5.5 team total with the Astros. But you just have to think. I guess I'm taking that why? Because it's minus 105, where you could take the run line at minus 145, and that's too much juice to risk. Nice, Stelly. I like it. First 5 under 5 in White Sox, Twins. And that's my MLB action. In NBA, I'm on the Celtics Raptors under 218.5. And Ace Purple parlayed with Magni UFC. Yeah. It screwed me so badly. CT Bays. Our guy CT Bays back in the house. CT Bays. Von Polo's going to going to be in Delaware gambling all weekend for the Derby. I hope you guys can all hang out. CT Bays in the house. Yeah, and Shane Schwader saying White Sox been winning. No doubt, but look, Pineda is angry. And I want to watch how he pitches. Then I'm on Jokic over 24.5 points. Player prop. Strategic investments, yes, we're doing a ton of NFL, but not on this show. Slots 45. Thank you. Being a great degenerate gambler in the movie, yes. Noli No says, let's have a day. Let's have a day. Viper MB says, let's get this money. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for your support and no action in NHL. But look. Oh, Bled saying Delaware Park haven't had sports betting open, just horses. Oh, shit. Oh, Delaware Park, is that where the casino is, Bleds? Because Bleds, we gotta let Von Polo know if Von Polo wants to make moves, man. Thank you, William Pawlowski, my friend. And no move for me on NHL, and I hate saying it. But look, if the Islanders keep getting steamed, I might be able to make a move on the Flyers. So in all, not a ton of action for me today. And CT Bay says that's correct. Delaware Park Sportsbook's still not open. Oh, Bled says we've been going to the Harris in Chester. Scott Kaler says cheers from Anaheim. Matt Randall. You know it's going to happen soon. But Matt Randall, if you want to just come on the show remotely, let's get you on the show, Matt Randall. We love you. We need you. Strategic Investments, it was great having you back in action. Jake Snide says I'm taking the Flyers money line if it goes up to 110. And Mark Hungerfer says sometimes your best bets are the ones you don't place. Hey, I love you guys. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. Mark Hungerfer, CT Bays, Jake Snides, Cuban Connect, Canadian Capper 72, Strategic Investments, Vom Polo, Birdie, Matt Randall, Walla Dose, Jason Folk, Scott Kaler, JL, Vincent Gigante, Detroit What, William Pawlowski, Johnny K, Shane Schwader, Noli Knows, Javon McDuffie says Cubs or Pirates. I wanted to take the Pirates first 5, Javon, but plus 120 is just not enough for me to take the worst team in the league. All right. Let's have a day today. Leche, hey, those bookmakers! Let's go. Get the week